I think we might be live, but let's give it a few seconds until I see the numbers and I see that you are actually here. Oh, now it's starting to rain. Hi Suzanne, welcome. Oh, and I can see you there now. Welcome everyone. I'm just gonna grab the umbrella. Bear with me one sec. I might not need it. It's just a few drops, but let me get it out this way. It's ready. Yeah, it's just a few drops. It's been on and off all morning, really. Hopefully. Well, we're going to Leicester Square, so we'll see Gene Kelly and Singing in the Rain. So we should still be happy. Right, let me show you my face again. So we've got 1 minute before to officially get started. Let us know where you're tuning from, and let us know what time it is for you if you are on the other side of the pond, because I don't usually tour that early, but I had to. Oh, and it's officially time to go. So welcome everyone. Welcome to what I was going to say, Leicester Square. We're heading towards Leicester Square, but we are in Soho at the moment. Devon, nice. Ooh, 5:45 for you, Tish. Essex, nice. I see. Right, let me show you where I am. So just in case, if anyone was completely new to me and to those Monopoly tours, what we do is that I've rolled the dice at home on the board. I ended up in Leicester Square. So we'll have a little tour around Leicester Square and we'll look at property prices. But while we're here, I don't know if you're able to, let me zoom in. I don't like zooming in because sometimes it stays stuck. Let's do it anyway. So Karl Marx used to live here. Let me zoom out, see if it works. Yes, we're good today. So yeah, we're actually on Dean Street in Soho. So we're heading down towards Chinatown on Leicester Square. So yeah, Karl Marx lived here. Well, when he did, London was very different. At the time, in the 1850s, London, to give you an idea, had about 2 million inhabitants. So far less than today, but that was a lot for the time. It was the largest city in the world at the time. And for Karl, it would have been much more expensive than what he was used to in Prussia or in France. He had been banned. He was kind of exiled out of Prussia, then he went to France. They didn't want him either, so then he went to Belgium, and that's how he ended up in London. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Oh, I didn't realize. It only happened to me once, but that's, yeah, because when the zoom stays stuck in, then, you know, the image can be a little bit shaky. Hi, Peter. So yeah, when Karl moved here, he was actually destitute. He was in poverty. He came with 4 children, but 3 of them actually died out of malnutrition and a poor hygiene. To give you an idea, at the time he did not have any running water or any toilets up there. Oh, is it your first tour since Hego, Agatha? Welcome, nice to have you back. Just in case, if anyone doesn't know, because we've got a few new audience from YouTube now, Hego is a streaming platform where I used to stream before to end up in this beautiful YouTube. I actually like YouTube, but the very reason why I had to do this tour so early today, it is because of their copyright rules. Because Leicester Square, it's always full of people that are busking, you know, so they're actually playing tunes, music that it doesn't belong to them. And if I come on stream next to those people, although the music is just going to be in the background and I'm not the one using it for my videos, then I might be penalized, and they can actually ban me for streaming for 90 days. So I'm trying really hard to avoid any music in the background. Anyway, back to Carl. When he lived here in Soho, he lived here with his family, but also with animals. It was the beginning of urbanization as we know it today, but animals were still in town. So would you believe Karl Marx, when he lived on the top floor of the building we've seen earlier, he actually had live chicken in his flat. At the time it was not unusual. You'd go down the street and you'd have a pig, and why not? But of course that was a perfect ground for epidemics and all that. And actually we did have a massive epidemic of cholera in Soho in the 1850s. Anyway, we are now down to, sounds wonderful to you, Tish? Well, it would be quite cool. If I could go back in time, I'd like to see that. We're now down on Shaftesbury Avenue, named after a philanthropist. And I'm gonna let me cross over to take a look at our first property. Oh, expect the cholera, yeah, because cholera was not a nice disease. You could be fine at breakfast and dead at night, really. Anyway, this beautiful red brick building there, we have a flat inside. Let me show you the photos. It is a 2-bedroom flat, and it is for rent. How much would you pay monthly for this lovely 2-bedroom flat in the brick building straight ahead? Monthly, 2-bedroom. You can start guessing. I mean, it is a lovely location. The flat looks very nice and quite new inside. How much do you think that would cost you? A monthly rent? Nikki says 3K, Corinne says 2.5. Let's give you a little, Tish says same as Nikki. Well, you know what, you guys are good. You guys are really getting really good at this game. Let me show you. Oops, it's a bit blurred, hold on. So 3,445. Traffic noise, yeah, that's right, Suzanne. It's actually quite a busy road. So yeah, that's quite well. I suppose the bedrooms are probably at the back, but still, yeah. You guys are getting quite close. Let me cross over. I'm not meant to cross here, but if those guys are doing it, I'm doing it as well. And we're heading towards Chinatown. So Chinatown, it's a very buzzy area in the afternoon. You'll see it's very quiet now. You'll have a lot of delivery van bringing the food. So it's not really the full atmosphere that you'll get in the afternoon. But while we're here, let me show you again. Let me show you the street sign. So as you can see, it's written in English as well as in Chinese. So that's quite cool. The council is accommodating the local community, and all the streets here in Chinatown, they have their name in English as well as in Chinese. A bit like we've seen. Some of you have been with me in Brick Lane in my Jack the Ripper tour. So they do English and Bengali language there. So that's a bit the same. So Chinatown, it's really become Chinatown as we know it today in 1985. The Chinatown used to be in Limehouse in the docks until the Second World War, when it was well, the docks, you might know, they were dramatically bombed through the Blitz, and that's how little by little Chinatown ended up moving down here. because in the 50s, you know, it was still very cheap to rent here, because this was like the sex district, you know, it had a bad rep, it was full of prostitution. So that's why they moved here, because the rent were quite cheap, and gradually it became what it is today. Let me move. No, that's cool. So those are the Chinatown lions. The Duke of Gloucester came to do the opening. So that's our late queen cousin, I think he was. And guess what? We have a flat share up there. Well, we had when I first did the research for that tour. And I'm afraid it's been taken. So if you really wanted it, sorry, it's gone. Let me show you the bedroom before you start guessing, because they have some height restrictions. It's in the ceiling, and I think even myself, and I'm 5'2", so even myself, I probably would be able to stand only in the middle of the room. So this would be, Agatha, it's only for the bedroom, not the full flat. This is a bedroom in a flat share, sharing with some other ladies. So you pay only for the bedroom, for a bedroom where you cannot stand up. How much would you pay? And it's not that bad, because obviously it's been taken since, 2 weeks ago when the ad was posted. So that's a monthly rent. 1,400. Oh, you guys are getting good. Bonnie says 750. It's a bit more, Bonnie. It's a bit more. I'll give it a few minutes. See, perfect for a hunchback. Yeah, of course. Anyone. I think you'd have to be a lady as well, because they did precise that all the other flatmates were ladies. 500. Ooh, no, it's much more than that. Let me show you. 1,280 for a bedroom, sharing the toilets and the kitchen with many other girls, for a bedroom where you cannot stand up. Well, some people might, but only in the middle of the room. So yeah, it's crazy in London nowadays. And it's been taken, that's the thing, it's been taken so quickly. There's a lot of gambling places as well in Chinatown. Well, in China and in Hong Kong in particular, there was a big culture of gambling. Ladies only, no, I don't think so, Bonnie, but who knows? So yeah, well, actually, both the UK and Hong Kong were still illegal, but a lot of young men gambled their money. That's a bit. A documentary about Chinatown, and in the documentary they claimed that in the 80s, when those gambling spots, they were managed originally by some Chinese, and when they introduced a lot of regulations, they said that apparently when you made more than 1,500, when you won more than 1,500, you had to have a British ID to claim it. So a lot of the young men here didn't have one, so they couldn't even claim their gain, and then it was much more profitable for the casino or the gambling place. I'm not 100% sure that's true, because that would be very discriminatory. So I suspect it could have been an issue with the subtitle. Maybe they did want an ID, but a British one, it sounds a bit, who knows? Even if they would take foreign IDs, if you are here illegally, you probably don't want to give it to them. Oh, you used to hang around here, Bonnie? Yeah, it was. So it gradually became what it is today. In the 50s and 60s, it was literally just a few Chinese restaurants. And in 85, that's when, so they got a million from government, really. And that's where they pedestrianized, and they did those lovely arches and the lions and the street sign. So in 1985, that's when they really had the Chinatown opening ceremony. Today, though, it's a little bit more diversified. You have a lot of amazing restaurants, but not all of them are actually Chinese. you can find Korean or some other places from Southeast Asia. So it's cool because you have more variety, but it's not all Chinese anymore. I'm gonna wait because it's a bit noisy. You could still park in the street back then. Oh yeah, not today. Well, you see some cars now because those are delivery vans. But if you come in the afternoon, now all the cars are gone. It's all pedestrians, which is really nice. It's quite in the afternoon. It's very different. I know it looks very quiet right now, but in the afternoon it's packed with tourists and Londoners alike, because or even people from elsewhere in the UK. You know, a lot of people come for a day in London to go to the theatre, to go to see a show, so they might come to Chinatown as well to have a bit of food before the show. And yeah, the lanterns, they're always here. It's amazing. But we still kind of mixed. So Soho, I didn't tell you, Soho is the gay area. So it's still a bit of a mix. For example, the pub straight in the middle there, that's a gay pub. They used to have a lesbian night on Tuesdays called Ruby Tuesday. So that was it was like a Friday but for girls. So yeah, it's still kind of mixed with some party places. And I wish you had the smells on YouTube. I can already smell some amazing food. And I'm gonna have another flat for you down there. Let me get the photos out. So the next flat is gonna be a 1-bedroom to buy. So that's the gay club, Cuba. It's still open, but I don't think they do the lesbian night anymore. So see the big block right ahead? There's a flat in the middle. I can't really show you the building because it's completely hidden and it's not really accessible from the other side either. But it's basically a new build, or I think it's maybe not new, but at least redone in the middle behind that. So how much would you pay for a 1-bedroom flat in this area? I'll show you the photos. So that's to buy. You've got a little balcony. By the way, all those flats, no garage. They would tell us if there was a garage. So 1-bedroom to buy. How much would you pay? And the bedroom, you see, it's not very spacious. This is like is it a single bed? I think it is a single bed. $950,000, says Nikki. 650, said Genevieve. 800,000, says Bonnie. Hey, Tish, you know what? Let me check. I think you're spot on. Let me double check. Peter says 860. Yeah, 565. It did not say how long was the lease, though, because you might know when you buy a property in Westminster, you very often have a lease. So you don't really buy the ground for forever. You have a lease for 99 years, or it could be 900 years, but yeah, the land kind of belongs to the Duke of Westminster anyway. Hugh Grosvenor. So yeah, there's a little square here with more restaurants. It's not too bad. Well, yeah, but it's very small. It's 1-bedroom, so. But yeah, it's not too bad compared to some of the flats we've seen in this area. And the rain has stopped, so that's good. I'm gonna pop the umbrella away. I don't think we'll need it. Yeah, and also in terms of council taxes, I think Westminster is probably a fairly expensive borough. Yeah, there's always more fees to consider. And you can probably already see a lady up there. Do we know who that is? The lady on the wall? Who could she be? She's got a lasso of truth. So on Leicester Square, it is the place, it is really the home of entertainment, you know, in London. So that's where we do all the movie premieres. So that's why we have a series of statues called Scenes in the Square. Exactly, Peter, this is Wonder Woman. She's been here for a while. We've got some statues that are brand new. The next one we'll see is in Indiana Jones. He's been here 2 weeks. Harrison Ford actually came to pose with the statue on 28th of June. So let's go and take a little look at those amazing statues. That's also why I wanted to do this tour in the morning, because if you come in the afternoon, there's no way you can do your selfie with Mr. Beans. You have to queue. Well, I might be exaggerating, but it's very busy on the square, so morning is best. So Leicester Square, it is named after the second Earl of Leicester. There used to be a large building on this side here that belonged to the Earl of Leicester, so that's why they called it Leicester Square. The building has been destroyed, but it was quite important historically. And the Hippodrome Casino down there, that used to be a theater full of upper class prostitutes. We might have spoken in some of my tours about Victorian prostitutes in this part of London. They would come with you to the theater, you'd spend the night with them, and they often had some regular clients. And Leicester House, by the way, that's where the Prince of Wales, Prince Frederick, died. Prince Frederick is, I think it's the latest Prince of Wales that was never a king. He died because, well, sadly, he was hit by a cricket ball in the lungs, and he passed away here. So he was the dad of George III, to give you an idea. And he was a great collector of a lot of little trinkets and boxes and little items. A lot of those items that he bought are still in the royal collection today. Oh yeah, the Comedy Store. Yeah, I've performed there myself. They do a gong show. I've been to the gong show. Anyway, there is Indiana Jones. So, as I said, it's the newest addition to the square. He's only been here a couple of 3 weeks now. And let's go and take a look at a little magician. Some of you might like him. He's just down there playing Quidditch. So that's, of course, Harry Potter. Harry Potter has been here a few years now. I think it's through COVID that they put him in, so maybe 3-4 years. There we go. So he's playing Quidditch. You don't like him a lot, the fox? I don't either. I'm not a big fan, but you know, when you work as a tour guide in London, you have to pretend. Right, and let's go and take a look at Mary Poppins. It's getting a bit busier now compared to when I first came earlier. An hour ago, it was dead. Bonnie, I'm not sure which trees you have in mind. There we go. There is Mary Poppins. So she's had 2 movies. She's had the one in the 60s, of course, and there was a more recent one as well. So she's flown down with her umbrella into our scenes twice. Oh, Paul Daniels. Oh, no, I meant Harry Potter. And let's go and take a look at Singing in the Rain. There he is. Let me just try to avoid people. There he is. So that's of course Gene Kelly. Let me try to show you his face. That's the smile we try to keep on when it's raining. Hi Sandy. And let's go and see another one. Let's see if you recognize him. He's a bit hidden in the bushes there. He used to go, "What's up, Doc?" There he is. Ta-da! Bugs Bunny from the Looney Tunes. He's completely hidden in the green, but I suppose that would be the case for a rabbit anyway. You're listening while driving. Well, if anything, this one probably would not be too much like a podcast because I've got less storytelling on this one. Let me see. I'm going to make sure I'm not forgetting anyone. Let's go and see Charlie Chaplin. And Mr. Bean is busy as usual, but we'll try to find a way to say hello anyway. So Charlie Chaplin, some of you might know, is not my favorite character because of his love life, but he was a genius in his work. And there he is. Let me zoom in a bit so we don't have too many people in the background. And welcome, Gerard. Nice to see you here. Right, let's go and try to say hello to Mr. Beans. Oh, he's not too busy anymore. Let's go. So with Mr. Beans, you can actually sit next to him and have a little selfie. So amazing icon of British TV. You love this film? Yeah. Well, you know what? I think Charlie Chaplin's, as well as Mr. Bean's, it still resonates with us today because there was no lines, no hello. So that's why it's still, you can still watch Mr. Bean's today and still have a laugh. And you'd think, you know what, you'd think it's not that much work, right? Because there's no lines. But actually, Mr. Bean's, the TV series, they had at least 40 writers. So even though there's no lines, it's still a massive comedy writing effort. You never liked Mr. Bean? I liked him. Right, let's go and see if we can see Batman. He's a bit hidden in the trees up there. I'm sure we can find a nice angle. He was usually on TV at your dentist. There we go. So Batman is up there on the Odeon. So that's where they. So that's where they do the premieres. I think it's the largest cinema in the UK. So a lot of the movie premieres happen here. So Batman is ready to jump on you. And let's go and see one of my favorites. We can also sit with him. It is Paddington. So Paddington Bear from Darkest Peru is... let me show you my face again because it's busy. He came into the picture in the 50s, and he has recently become such a royal mascot. It's not a coincidence if Paddington became such a royal mascot. There, of course, it's because most of us, the last video of our Queen we saw, it was that little clip she filmed with Paddington, of course. But also Paddington is extremely polite. He sees the good in people, and that's kind of like the qualities that the Queen embodied all her life. So they're actually quite similar, Paddington and the Queen. And of course, when the Queen passed away, thousands of those little Paddington bears were dropped with the flower tributes in front of Buckingham Palace, in St James's Park, and Green Park, and Hyde Park. So many that the royal parks had to tell people to stop it, to stop bringing those little bears, because they didn't know what to do with them. And eventually people started to bring marmalade sandwiches instead. That was quite sweet, because then it would feed the foxes. And when those bears were let me show you Shakespeare's. I was gonna go without showing you William. When those bears were removed after the Queen's funeral and all that, they've decided to wash them and give them to the Barnardo's charity. So for the ones that don't know the Barnardo's charity, it's a charity that takes care of destitute children. I'm gonna have to look for oh, there it is. Now it's properly raining, so bear with me one sec. I'm just gonna get the umbrella out. And then we'll go and see our last statue. It is Laurel and Hardy. Oops. Sorry. Oop. There we go. Is Newton taking notice of Paddington? Is Newton your bear? I wonder how many selfies a day are taken with Paddington and Mr. Bean. It's probably quite a few, hundreds, I would say. So on top of the cheap discounted theatre tickets here they are, Laurel and Hardy. Yeah, yes, I have a strong bear community in my tours. Well, Janie and her bears are not here, and Tarek is not here, is he? So not that many bears today. So yeah, we love the bears. So here they are. And lumps, okay. Okay, let's exit the square. So there's a lot to see. There's a lot to see in the area as well. We're not gonna go all the way down to Trafalgar Square, because of course that's also on the Monopoly board. And if I went, let me show you just the way where you have the M&M's World and the Lego store. So if you went up there, straight in the middle there, you've got the M&S World. Then you could end up at Piccadilly Circus. But we're not going to go down there today, because it's also on the Monopoly board. So that's for a different day. Your bear is temperamental. Oh, naughty bear, naughty bear. We should introduce him to Paddington. Paddington could teach him how to be polite, and this umbrella is flying away. To be polite, and overly polite actually. Right, we've got a couple more properties while we're here. Great time for this tour. Yeah, it's actually nice to see this area so quiet. That's the Westminster Library here. Because yeah, if you come in the afternoon, it's very different. And straight ahead, you might be able to read. It's the back of the National Gallery. Now we've got another property. We're heading towards it now, and they have a blue plaque. So those blue plaques, they are of course. Well, you've got the blue plaque from English Heritage. You also have some green plaques if they are by the council. Those plaques, they are there to, of course, highlight any famous person that lived in the building at some point. But in terms of the property market, it's also quite good when you have a blue plaque on your building. So, you know, it's just a little. I have to get rid of the umbrella to get the phone out. Bear with me one sec. So this is the building here. Well, at least on the pin drop on photo, it's this one. So I'm pretty sure it's the one with the blue plaque. It could be the next one, but it does look like it's this one here. So Sir Mortimer Wheeler, he was an archaeologist, and he was on TV on the BBC. He was doing a documentary called, what was it called? Vegetal Animals, Minerals, question mark. So he kind of popularized the job of archaeology. People maybe didn't know exactly what archaeologists were doing before, so he kind of made it more well known. Let me get rid of the umbrella and I'll show you the photos. So I think that's a 2-bedroom. Let me double check so I don't say anything wrong. It's over 3 floors, and yeah, so 2-bedroom for sale. So to buy this flat here. So you've got the top floor in the roof there. You've got those 2 floors above the barber shop. How much would you pay for a 2-bedroom here? I'll get you the photos. So that's to buy. So it's quite nice and modern inside. So that's to buy. And don't forget, there's a blue plaque, so it's probably a little bit more than the normal market price. The timing, the delay is a bit longer on YouTube than it used to be on Heygo. So that's why I'm giving you more time, just to make sure I get all your replies. 1.3 million, says Peter. Well, you're very close, Peter. Tish says 175. Genevieve says 2 million. Just gonna give it a minute, see if we have any more. Oh, Kurt, welcome. So Kurt says 1.2 as well. Well, you guys are really good. Actually, Peter, you know what? You are quite spot on. 1,295,000. So yeah, very well done. So that's it's not. I would have expected a blue plaque to be much higher, but it's not actually that much. Right. Let's go down towards the, it's still raining, but I'm gonna take the umbrella down because it's much easier to use the other phone. Hopefully I'm not gonna get the phone too wet. There we go. So let's go down towards the Embassy of the Philippines. Before we go anywhere else, let me show you, I've probably already showed you that in some of my tours, but you see we've got this little logo that seems to be the Coco Chanel logo on all the lampposts in Westminster. Well, there's a little legend behind it. Well, the beginning of the story is absolutely true. The Duke of Westminster, not the actual Duke, the actual Duke is the Bachelor. His name is Hugh Grosvenor. If you wanted to marry a billionaire, I highly recommend the Duke of Westminster, because his fortune is just under 11 billions. I think he's 33 now. Before to reach the age of 30, he was the youngest. Not jump in there if you wanted a billionaire, but not himself, but his great uncle. Did I forget one great? Well, one of his uncle, also named Hugh Grosvenor, he had an affair with Coco Chanel for about 10 years. A little logo appeared on the pillar, so everyone thought that was like a little souvenir of their affair. I'm afraid it's not true. Officially, the double C stands for City Council. So it is Westminster City Council. So that's why you've got, if you looked at the proportions, they're not exactly the same anyway. Coco Chanel is a little bit flatter. But yeah. I don't think we have many Canadians in the house today because it's probably very early. Oh yeah, Pisas, of course. So that's your High Commission. The High Commission, it's pretty much like an embassy, really. But some of the countries that have the king as head of state, they have the High Commission instead of an embassy. And let me show you George III on his horse there. If you see a bit of the statue there behind the oh, I picked the worst angle because we've got the traffic light. Let me get a bit closer. There we go. So that is George III. So we talked about his dad earlier, Frederick, Prince of Wales, the one that died in Leicester Square with the cricket ball. That's his father. George III. People get to, I get a lot of, in my in-person tours nowadays, I get much more questions about George III because of the new Netflix show, Queen Charlotte. Because it's quite popular, so that was his wife. Mixed race, some black background, but if she did, that would have been 9 generations. So she probably did not look very dark at all, but there's a portrait of her. It's, I think it's in Buckingham Palace. I think I saw it the other day because the palace has just opened to the public on Friday. There's a portrait of her. I can give you a clue. It's a little bit more than what we've seen so far today. But we are closer to the area of St. James's. St. James's area is very expensive because, of course, it's a royal area. Because if you went down here, to my down right, you'll end up on Pall Mall, which is a very expensive area with all those private clubs, those gentlemen clubs like the Athenaeum or the Institute of Directors. So you have quite a few very wealthy people living around here. So how much would you pay for a 3-bedroom here? I hope it's here because on the website, the dot is literally just on the embassy of the Philippines, and I don't think the flat is in the embassy, so I'm guessing it's this one. Sometimes they purposely put the pin drop not very precise because they don't want you to find the flat and come and knock. Oh, Nikki, it's to rent, not to buy. So we're looking for a monthly rent. Oh yeah, Peter, monthly rent. I probably didn't express it properly. It's a flat, Tish. It's only 3 bedrooms, so there's no way the full building belongs to them. So we're looking for a rent. Nikki says 3,000. Well, it's a little bit more. 75 and Peter 4,000. So yeah. Anyway, and I be the end of the tour. Thank you very much. If any of you wanted to give me a little tip, you've got, of course, if you want to see a bit more of me, we're going to Brompton Cemetery next, not this weekend, the weekend after, on Sunday. Thanks, Catherine. Thanks, Tish. Queen in Latin, as there are many old ones in Westminster, mainly because the suffragettes, they've been blowing them at the beginning of August. I'm probably not gonna be doing too many through the summer because it's very busy with in person, but I'll try to do at least once a week. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming today. Have a great rest of the day or rest of the night for some of you, and I'll virtually see you soon. I didn't even show you my beautiful jumper. I wear the jumper, but I don't even show it on camera, so there's no point apart from people looking at me funny on the streets. Well, at least they know straight away what I'm doing when they see the